clients have a short-term memory. We all know this. They forget what you've done for them yesterday. Happy hump day. Got a busy day. I know I always say that. I always say I have a busy day, which is true. Now, I wanted to warn you, next week I am out in Colorado. I'm taking my family to go look at the land we bought in Durango, Colorado. So I'm so excited. And my family, we're going to hike up our mountain and claim it as a family. So maybe I'll do a travel vlog. Well, most obviously I'm going to do a travel vlog. So be on the lookout for that. There'll probably be no business value whatsoever in that vlog, but that's okay, as long as you know that. I realized I was doing a mistake because I had a lot of people coming to me saying, do you do one-on-one consulting? And I was like, of course I do. A lot of people are just thinking I do group programs or push people to my agency playbook. And so that's a huge mistake on my part. So I'm actually correcting that. And I'm actually trying to come up with a way on our homepage to figure out where you guys need to start based on where you're at. So if you're an agency from 500,000 in revenue to 15 million, and you want to work with me one-on-one, you go here. If you're an agency that wants to do everything on your own and be delivered resources online so you can know how to grow your agency faster, hey, go to the agency playbook. Maybe possibly you can't afford working with me one-on-one, maybe, and you want to be in a group of your peers, then Agency University is for you. So what can I do to make it easy for you in order to figure out where do you need to go? Because I know I have a lot of services that I do, but I know a lot of you are in a different situation or you guys learn differently. So I'm working on a solution right now. I just wanted to let you guys know that. But if you're watching this and you don't know I do one-on-one consulting, I do. I only work with 10 clients at a time. I think right now, actually I have probably 9 or 10. So I need to check, but depending on when you're watching this video, I could have more, I could have less. Let's go ahead and get into the Q&A. Now, Kristelle reached out to me on Messenger, and if you haven't reached out to me on Messenger, you should. You can just click on my contact page and it will go to me, and I'm the only one that actually chats there. So Kristelle asked, my agency has grown over the years, but our retention rate for our clients seems to suck. For every 2 clients we gain, we lose one every month. We've even lost several clients in 1 month that total a loss of $32,000. I've made some operational staff changes to try to solve the problem, and the clients still keep being lost at the same rate. What do you suggest reevaluating when trying to reduce your client churn rate? Regular client churn is a natural progression. Now, not at this rate though. Over time, you're going to outgrow your clients. Sometimes your clients may outgrow you. So churn is going to happen. So it really comes down to 2 things, Kristelle. Did they start off being the wrong prospect? Did you take on the prospect that you shouldn't have, right? I always have a saying that there's no such thing as a bad agency client. There's only a bad prospect or a bad process. Going back to your qualification and making sure that they meet all of your criteria. Do they value marketing? Do they value what you do? Do they understand what a lead is worth? Can they directly correlate what you do with results? Now, the other thing that I think is a challenge for you as well is their perception. Their perception is here when you want it to be up here. So let me explain. It's just like, why do people buy a Bentley over a Mercedes? Hell, I think it's the same damn company that owns both of them. I even think they're on the same chassis. But why does one car demand $100,000 or less and one car demands $500,000? It's the perception. It's the perception of value. And have you communicated that to the client? Do they understand the value that you're bringing to them? Look, clients have a short-term memory. We all know this. They forget what you've done for them yesterday. They forget where they've actually started. Constantly remind your clients where they were, like every time you chat with them, where they were and where they are now. And what was the delta between that you've actually helped with. So then they start immediately understanding the value that you're providing. But I really think it comes down to these two things. Either you're taking on the wrong prospects, or they just don't have the right perception where you're not communicating to them in the right manner of the value that you're providing in order to sustain what you're paying. Because look, we've all been in a situation where we're delivering amazing results to the client, and then the client comes to us and cancels. And we're like, what's going on here? Well, are you actually asking them what they actually want? Like, what's the result from the work you guys are doing? Are you working with clients that understand how much a lead is actually worth? Okay. And then are they able to directly correlate revenue and sales back to what you're doing for them? Okay. So what I would start looking at is look at measuring that. And then I think you're going to see what you're worth. Like when I hear someone charging £1,000, like I told you before, it's just, that's nothing. Let's say with the client that your direct correlation to revenue, how much revenue have you generated for them every month? Okay. And you're charging them £1,000. Do you think you need to charge more? They don't understand the value that you provide, and they're the wrong prospect, or you haven't educated them, right? It's either one of those two things. Like money at the end of the day is not an issue, right? It's urgency. So if you're about to have a heart attack, right? Are you going to ask the doctor or the physician, how much is it to save your life? You're like, no, I'm going to save my life and then I'll figure out how to pay for it later. And if you can't communicate to them, if they're closed-minded, stop trying to convince people that are unconvincible. Move on and find the people that value marketing, that value how much a lead is actually worth. Like I have a client in the UK, he just charges based on performance. And he has a set criteria of evaluating who the right prospects are. And if they don't understand what a lead is actually worth, or they don't have a really good kind of campaign or funnel, right? He's not going to work with them because they're going to be a nightmare. The example that you explained to me, I bet you could charge $5,000 a month. If you looked back at the $10 million pipeline, and then you looked at the ones that are not doing the excuses, the ones that the CEOs weren't involved, like how much of that pipeline would be like, hey, yeah, this can close any minute. And then what I would look at is how can I add urgency to that versus price going up, can't take on any more work, the influencer's leaving, or whatever it is. Try to call them on their BS. Be like, hey, just wanted to let you know, I know you said the budgets are allocated for 2018, but we're coming up in Q4, this influencer's rate's going up dramatically. And we're almost getting to our capacity as well. So, if you want to, make a move in Q4, this is your chance. But if not, certainly understand. You can try to wait for 18 and the rates are going to be much more. And if we can help you out then, great. If not, just wanted to give you guys a heads up so we don't surprise you. Well, but that's the life of an entrepreneur though. You're the professional star problem solver. Yeah, but they don't understand. They don't understand it. That's why it's important for you to constantly put out content, right? That's why it's important for me to put out content to separate myself from everybody else that copies you. So if you like this episode, I want you to comment below, share it out, make sure you subscribe. Until next time, I am just your humble agency advisor helping you grow your agency faster and easier, and have a swank day.